Okay, well, hello everyone. Lovely to see you all, to meet the new power women in the game of entrepreneurship, technology. I still think you are discovering yourself, discovering your ideas, what you want to launch in the future and how you want to make it. It's an opportunity, and it's definitely an opportunity for me to share with you what I've learned so far, and my focus of this presentation will be on the metaverse. Before we start talking about new world order that lies ahead, I would like to simply get the understanding who is in the audience. If you could just, wave your hand, introduce yourself, and present what you, in a few words, present what you're building or think of building. Please be open. Just unmute yourself and present yourself.
Who wants to go first?
Okay,
I'll go first.
I'm sorry.
You go first.
Okay, well, hi everyone. I'm Ashiria. I'm a student right now in Rotterdam, and the idea that I have actually has to do with the metaverse, so that's why I'm really interested in this workshop. It's basically about turning fashion designs online and digital, so people can wear them in the metaverse and maybe just on other platforms as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay. My name is Karen Jooster. I'm from South Africa. I live in Cape Town. Previously, I was a member of Parliament, and then since 2019, I sort of founded my own non-profit, and we sort of almost in the place where we're going to start the project. It's about giving community access to a digital basic income, and showing people the digital economy that would otherwise be excluded from the formal financial sector.
Love it. Amazing. Are you still doing that, or you are kind of figuring out how to become tech founder for something else?
Figuring it out. I hope to start the project in October.
All right, it's still on the way. Okay, amazing. If anything, let me know. Just reach out. All of you, don't hesitate to link with me. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Anyone else?
It's
Mariana, Evgenia. Yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys. So I'm a manager, kind of IT manager and HR manager. I'm working right now for Russian bank. We was a part of Societe Generale Group. And my product is a service that helps parent employees and employers create the most comfortable experience through the maternity and parental leave. So we want to launch a platform where everyone could go through the parenthood and get any answers and any help that he or she needs. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Amazing. We also share a name in common, Evgenia, if we're looking at the Russian roots. So, Eve, nice to meet you. Evgenia, Ariana, we know each other, but I would like to know what you're working on right now.
Hi, Eve. It's good to see you. Good to see everybody. Yeah, so I'm Oriana. I am part of the immersive escape room startup team. And so we have just kind of actually refined our problem solution. So recently, and so basically we're doing we're using Spatial to do an escape room game that would be educational and interactive. So we're hoping to educate, entertain, and allow people to meet who are kind of history nerds. Because that's our team basically.
Well, I'm looking forward to the invitation.
I would love to have you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ariana. And Shilard, hi.
Hi, my name is Sheku and I'm a freelancer artist.
Okay.
But my idea is very different. I want to establish a website that people with a skill can join people with a skill and people that need their skills. I thought about a website that people with tight schedule and busy people that have a question and search for the answer, they can find people that have that skill, or maybe they are professional on the things they are searching for, and they can we can join these people together.
Lovely. That's a great idea. Skills are always important. Thank you. And I think we are that's the group, right, for today?
I think that's everybody except for QI, I think, but
Yeah,
there is someone behind.
I'm on
Hi.
Karen's team, so
all right, so you're doing the same thing as
yeah.
All right, QI. Okay, thank you everyone for introducing yourself. Let me introduce myself and we dive deeper into the topic. So I'm sending the link to my business card, as I call it. I can learn about my future past experiences later. I'm founder and CEO at Eveness. Eveness is a fast-scaling startup in the field of extended reality and Metaverse solutions. We're providing solutions for interactive events, remote teams collaboration, virtual learning, and a lot of edutainment. That's a big word nowadays, where you can combine the interaction together with fun, but also skills, upskilling, education, learning. Now, we've been in this game for longer than Mark Zuckerberg announced in October last year on the stage. Meta is everything, and the world went nuts. For the last 20 years, I've spent working with big corporates in the field of innovation, working with innovation labs, launching innovative solutions like payment screens for autonomous driving cars, IBM Watson technology, various fintech and AI solutions. So at some point, I realized, you know what? I'm actually in my head living in the future, and I want to be the one to create the future faster than waiting for the change to come. And I think that's what we share in common, you and I, that we can't wait to make the world a better place, because the planet is at risk. People are kind of losing contact with this pandemic and post-pandemic effects. And I think it's great that you found courage to take the first step and join the program. Now, what's next? The opportunities are limitless. We're looking into the world that is trying to define the new world order. We're taking away the centralization or centralized approach, the governance, where one entity controls the people. There is a huge movement giving the power to the people, bringing the people to the game so they become the creators, innovators, builders, doers, and share the joy of collaborative work, decentralizing the whole ecosystem, but at the same time creating the new virtual ecosystem of everyone actively participating in this game. Metaverse for me is a big word because it can, first of all, mean a lot of things. We'll dive deeper in a second. But it's also a great opportunity to bring the whole world together. We didn't have that in the physical world. Always limited by walls, by tickets, by planes, connections. Now we don't have to do it. And we can also limit the CO2 emissions. We can limit the hurdles, time, save our time, and do much more with our lives. On a personal level, you're at home, you can be with your family right after you turn off that camera. But at the same time, be able to see the world and meet people from across the globe. Even started in the Netherlands 3 years ago. That's when we got incorporated. The idea came out of the Way Accelerator. It's an accelerator for women in artificial intelligence, data science, and machine learning, organized by Women in AI. And that was right before the pandemic that we started. And during the pandemic, the world was not figuring out, okay, what's there? What kind of tool can we use? We have global attendees, they can't travel anymore. It needs to be virtual. We found a partner that was Virbela at the time, and that changed, completely flipped the coin, right? It changed the whole dynamics. I saw the opportunity of a mega level for the people to be able to attend the events, to be able to participate in the programs, despite the fact that we all were kind of pushed into the closed environments of our homes due to the pandemic. 3 years after, Evenus is now also established in the United States. We scaled after testing our solutions, organizing a lot of events, building environments, testing platforms of other metaverse spaces. And we learned a lot, but we also learned how people learn, and they want to earn, how they want to be engaged. What is the culture shift? What is the behavior shift? Where the world is going, and how to make this collaboration easier for everyone. We are in the stage that we're building our own metaverse platform. It's still stealth mode, but it's based on 4 pillars: inclusion, accessibility, safety, and sustainability. And it's meant to bring that virtual ecosystem of innovators and creators to this world and empower it with AI and virtual economy. So stay tuned for this news. And now let's talk about Metaverse. There is no other delay to experience. Where do I click to make sure I operate my presentation well? Right. I hope you can enlarge it. I can't from my end, but you would see this is the history of the web. I'll guide you with my voice. I don't know if you remember, if you had that experience. I'm maybe a little bit older than you are, but I remember when the first laptop was presented to me, the first computer, actually, it was desktop. And I remember the first computers that my school used, completely different from all the MacBooks and all the technology that we're using. I'm on Alienware, the super powerful computer that runs AI, VR, and all the futuristic technologies, just waiting for quantum to connect to. But that experience of seeing that plastic box with digital screen and the green dots running around, or some numbers, 1 and 0s, that was already a big thing. There was no interaction, there was no kind of opportunity to talk to people, but that was the new thing that inspired everyone. Through time, we learned how to communicate with one another. So emails came in, how to code the better interfaces, how to play games. When it was the year 2000, 2005, I received a more advanced computer as a present, and I was just graduating from my university. And the computer had the power to run Adobe. Adobe just got launched in the market. And I started being curious how you can create things, because I saw somewhat promo, I heard from someone, and I started literally nailing it. Not NFT art, but back in the day, it was just working with photos, changing colors, creating images, creating videos. And that was a lot of fun. That was, for me, that was everything back in the day. Web 2.0 brought us the opportunity to socialize. And how it was Web 2.0, it is, you can associate it with Google, Facebook, and companies that are very known today for the human connection or empowering people to find information. So that was the era where your websites also transformed into, if you go to the website of some company, you would not only see text, but also changing images, and you can comment or see some empty blog posts appearing in the website, or some videos playing. So that was like a more interactive business card, but still, it was not too personal. The ads were, you could enable or disable it, but for the rest, it was just a presentation of a company that doesn't make you to discover everything about it yet, unless you schedule an interview, I guess. So now we are looking at the creation of Web 3.0, and this is an amazing thing that's happening. We are going not only into the more connected world with the new form of the internet, but we are looking at a personalized, literally down to your passion level, interactive, where you know the world, where you can find people easier, where you can create your tribe with the speed of light, where you can learn, where you can share, but most of all, where you can earn. And this disrupts the whole economy, the way people imagined education. There is no future for boring lecture halls anymore, where you sit and write after that professor and you have no chance to work on things together. The future that we are building at this moment is where everyone can come together from any IP address, any location, and start creating, co-creating, co-developing, testing, and learning and sharing their knowledge. So this is a power, and it's a magnitude of it. Right. So Metaverse. Let me ask you a question. What do you know about Metaverse? What does it stand for? Who knows? At least one person. I need at least one person. That shows you have courageous women in the course, in the program. I'm testing you, women, huh? No guess? Not even a guess?
A virtual world.
Virtual world. Awesome. Any other guess?
Could it stand for metaphysical universe?
Oh, nice one. Metaphysical universe. Okay, great. Okay, we'll start with that. So virtual world, metaphysical universe. Meta comes from the Greek prefix and preposition meta, that means after or beyond. So you'll see meta. That's from Greek, right? When combined with words in English, meta often signifies change or alteration, as in the words metamorphic or metabolic, right? Verse is part of universe, but verse also means a rhythmic pattern in poetry, in lyrics. So if you're Dutch, that would be with a rhythmic pattern that metaverse exists. Met means with in Dutch, but on the professional level, on the industry level, it means beyond the universe, right? That's what the word itself means. To understand the difference between a physical and virtual worlds and metaverse that we're building, let's basically look at the next slide. So here are some definitions that are available for your understanding. An embodied virtual reality experience, that's one way to define it. A Web3 framework for economic interoperability. A creative platform for experiences and commerce. A new form of internet that is more engaging, collaborative, and personalized. Pick one, use it. Pick all, use it more often in various, conversations in various ways. But if you say one of them only, you'll be still right, because that's what Metaverse is. It's a huge holistic ecosystem of Internet of Things, connected devices, connected people, personalized interactive collaboration. So that's completely different from the physical world that we know, but at the same time, it's pretty close, because we are transforming the personal experience into the virtual worlds. Now, history. Have you read the book Snow Crash? You can click on, I don't know, is there an icon to click on? Okay. If not, Snow Crash is an amazing book, because that's where Metaverse was the first time. That's how the Metaverse word appeared for the first time. It basically started the whole movement. So the term metaverse was coined in Neil Stephenson's 1992 science fiction novel. And in that novel, and Snow Crash, humans as programmable avatars interact with each other and software agents in a three-dimensional virtual space. When you read it, just takes you into it very well. The movie is still in the making, but I think we expect it sometime next year, if I'm not wrong. So Stevenson used the term to describe a virtual reality-based successor to the internet. And he was not wrong about it. He showed how Internet of Web 2.0 can become this whole virtual world that the person can be part of and participate in. Ready Player One, you may have watched the movie, amazing movie, cheers me up all the time, because it's not only talks about or shares, presents the metaverse as it could be, and probably we'll get there sometime, but it also speaks about democratization, decentralization, the system of the DAOs, so basically giving that power to the people. There is a book as well, I recommend reading, also quite an interesting experience. So in the book or in the movie, you would see that it's a dystopian science fiction franchise created by Ernst Klein, which depicts the shared VR landscape called the Oasis. That was the name for that huge metaverse. The first novel was released, I think, 2011. And in the story, the franchise depicts the year 2045, which is not so far away, as being gripped by an energy crisis and global warming, what we experience now, causing widespread social problems and economic stagnation. So the primary escape for people is a shared VR landscape called the Oasis, which is accessed with a VR headset and wired gloves. The Oasis functions both as a massively multiplayer online role-playing game and as a virtual society. So that you can see as a description from the movie and the book, but once you watch it, you'll see how the people in the conditions of very almost destroyed world, let's say, in the cataclysms, living in the wars and kind of control and regime, controlling regime, you will see how people escaped that physical burden by putting the VR glasses on and escaping into a beautiful three-dimensional world. That was the kind of the beginning, the inspiration for creating a metaverse or the metaverse. The difference is a metaverse is a single virtual space. Let's say we're talking about Horizon of Facebook, of Meta. That's a metaverse. Once a metaverse can be integrated with other metaverse spaces on the level that you don't click and teleport, but it's holistically integrated and you just go everywhere without even jumping somewhere, then it becomes the metaverse, and that will take some years for us to build. But now the first company who changed the game and showed the capabilities and brought the Snow Crash fictional kind of scenario into the reality was Second Life. My first experience with Second Life, I think it was 2014. That was something in the beginning. So it was a really huge world. I could walk my avatar. I could create my avatar. It was different to the avatars that we're using now, like Ready Player Me or other set of avatars. But I could kind of present myself in a way, and I could walk. I could do things. I could learn. The boundaries were not set though. So my dropout from the metaverse in the beginning happened because my avatar was sexually abused in the Second Life. And that's a very crazy experience, how you can enable what another avatar can do by just coding the language in. So that's the open system that really makes it scary. and the worlds can become well, let's say, unsafe for people to come if we do not send the boundaries to preach this good behavior, to show that the respect needs to be there, and to bring people into kind of one tribe, realizing that we know these people, we don't want to hurt them. Not everyone thinks this way, so there always should be the elements of control to kick out people, to be banned. But before we do that, it needs to be built with the thought that it needs to be built safe, secure, that verbal abuse, sexual abuse, and well, any kind of abuse shouldn't be there, right? It shouldn't be. Why are we replicating the physical things into the new digital world that we can build from scratch as a utopian, beautiful paradise? So Second Life progressed since then. They did enable all the security levels. They did launch their virtual economy. They do have a token. They changed their avatars, advanced the capabilities. It is a downloadable metaverse. That means you need to install and you need to patch while you are loading the systems. It takes a lot of space on your computer. At the same time, it performs very stable, and you can jump on the system anytime you want by clicking on the button. It was officially launched, I didn't mention that, in 2003. But yeah, the development of the platform goes back into 1990s. Now, I do recommend exploring. And also, I would say another big player that you're probably aware of is Meta, used to be called Facebook. They have Horizon Worlds, what they're building. The difference here is that Meta has funds and they still want to control. So they're building a centralized world where your data is still used for many purposes like advertising and collection and who knows what. So the whole discussion is happening for last 2 years about data privacy at Meta. But I'll give them a compliment. The design is cool. The functionality and the AI performance is quite stable. So you may want to experience it and judge by yourself, for yourself. But I think there shouldn't be a no to exploring, right? If you're curious about things, you should jump into every opportunity and see, how is it? Can I learn from it? Can I bring something to it? I'll address the other metaverse companies who are the true decentralized movers and doers and shakers. But first, I want to ask you this question. How would you describe this slide? The picture, the image that you see.
It's a kind of a big conference with a lot of, I guess.
I'm sorry, I cannot really hear you well.
Oh, sorry. Maybe because of my headphones. Can you hear me right now?
No, the sound.
It's far, far away. It's hard to hear.
You can also type a message in the chat. I can read it out for you.
Just try to switch off my head.
No, we can't hear it. There is a problem with your voice level.
Okay, well, for me, it looks like a conference.
Mm-hmm. Conference.
Yes.
Is it virtual? Is it physical?
It looks like a physical one.
Okay.
It looks virtual to me.
Okay.
But it's got a similar setup to physical. It's imitating life.
Good, good, good. All right. You provide a different answer, so I'll take it from there. It's amazing. Both of you are right. Because it is a physical event that has a replica in the virtual environment that looks pretty much exactly like the people on stage delivering message. It is in testing. It's not yet available in the market, but there was the commercial implementation of it that you basically your whole body scans in the outfit that you're in, and then they produce let's call it meta-human in a way, but the digital twin of the speaker, of the people, and then they just record and transform it into virtual reality. It's the next step to kind of organizing events and showcasing on the global level. But then this functionality helps you to integrate into your website, which should be a Web3 website, and you can open the website and just walk into that conference being an avatar. Now, difference is if it's a physical event only, the amount of people that are in the audience who bought the ticket probably or who were invited to the event are the only people who are going to get into this event. The speaker will be still acting as a preacher on stage, showing slides, pointing out some directions. Hopefully he has a great assistant with some technological design who can make these slides interactive and engaging, but hey, not the case usually. If we're looking into the future, the whole teleportation, hologramic approach, scanning the bodies to make our actual selves and secure our identities in the digital spaces, that all becomes possible. A lot of companies are working on it. What we have now for the metaverse, and that's where the difference, at least you will see the difference on this level, we have now various environments that can host, some of them a limited amount of people, some of them are hosting thousands of people, right? You will see this is a Christmas party from last year, well, December party, it was not called Christmas, by Virbela. They had about, I don't know, 2K people. It's a huge, massive hall from across the globe. And you could dance together, you could talk to one another. There was a DJ spinning on stage. We just organized an event as evenings for the DAO communities, the power of DAO. We organized them in Spatial. And we had a DJ as well. Our group was smaller. Here it's 1/4, I think, of the group. We had about 35, something like that, people. And the DJ from Amsterdam, if you're in Amsterdam, DJ Rafaela Brown, please follow. She's amazing. She played some tracks her set. Now, the difference is you do not have to travel. You do not have to sit in the audience and wait for the time to go for a break when this boring presentation finishes. You do have a chance to talk to the speaker. It's not like, you know, VIP access only. You can enable that, but the world is not expecting that anymore. It's very open in the decentralized community, yeah, that you can come and build and share, and you still can make money, whether it's in tokens, in Ethereum, and crypto payments, or in fiat currency. So Virbela is a downloadable metaverse space. Spatial is a clickable one. And I describe it very easy with these two words. It's just because once you receive the link, you click on the link, you enter the space. Within the environment, you create your avatar. You basically appear in automated avatar, but then you can customize it and personalize it. You don't have to download anything. It runs smooth across devices, VR headsets, web browser, mobile phones, smartphones. Once you download, like Virbela, for example, or Second Life, you can increase the amount of people. In Spatial, it's 50 to maximum 500. You can extend the capacity now, but it just cannot process a render, that's the term, render avatars and the 3D elements as fast as the downloadable environment. So if you're building something that is metaverse, please do consider, you need to make a choice whether you want people to download it or you want to go with the clickable version. Or if you're not building the metaverse, but you are thinking of partnering with someone to get a metaverse for yourself, then do ask them a lot of questions. How do they ensure the performance of the platform? How they build? Is it a sustainable design, inclusive design? These questions are very needed to be addressed because, first of all, metaverse, AI, and 3D graphics, they consume a lot of processing power. That means servers run faster and louder. That causes the heat, and the heat causes climate change at the faster rate. So overheating the planet, that's what the data centers were helping us with. And we're all trying to figure out how to cool down and slow down the changes with the climate by finding sustainable ways of building metaverse spaces. I won't go into architectural design, but I will give you this slide that I hope you can enlarge somehow to see it better. So it's the 7 layers of metaverse. That's what the slide is showing. In these 7 layers, you would see that the core of the metaverse space is infrastructure. That's the black bubble in the center, in the low center. That comes with technologies such as 5G networks, Wi-Fi 6 or 6G, clouds, let's say MEMS, GPUs, various materials, everything that is the foundation, hardware foundation to the metaverse creation. Then you have human interface, how people access smartphones, smart glasses, wearables, haptics, gestures, voice, neural, name it. We are mostly using it on the known devices, smartphones, headsets, and computers. But in the future, you can also just think about it, and it will take you somewhere in the metaverse, or it will appear, or the person you want to talk to, you can connect with, and he will appear in front of you. Decentralization is the 3rd layer of the metaverse, a very important one. That comes with edge computing, artificial intelligence, AI agents, microservices, blockchain. That's to enable the not only the, let's say, connectivity or connection of the whole world, but also the financial technology, fintech, decentralized finance, DeFi application of how you buy things, how you secure your digital ownership, how you secure your digital identity, how you exchange goods and services. So this is the foundation to economy. Can be a blockchain that is more power consuming, finding the right word for that, but let's say less sustainable. It's great, but it's less sustainable. And there is Hedera Hashgraph, a spin-off from a lot of awesome companies that put their efforts and knowledge together to come up with Hedera Hashgraph. That is the next level of blockchain. They have a minimum amount of use cases for this decentralized approach. We're building on Hedera Hashgraph because it's more sustainable. Everything is performing faster. Minting take less time and less processing power. And there are ways to ensure that decentralization happens in a sustainable way. Spatial computing is the next level. 3D engines, VR, AR, XR, multitasking, UI, geospatial mapping. These are items, I guess, was the English word. That's what defines spatial computing. And you need it when you're building your solutions, especially, like, give you an example, AR. Usually you take your phone, you point at something and Pokemon appears, or a virtual piece of clothes or something else that appears on your phone. And that is interesting how it's built, because you put a lot of functionality, also AI and geospatial mapping, to understand the boundaries, to understand, okay, if the person in front of me wearing her dress or their dress, and I looking at her through my mobile phone with AR functionality on, how can I make sure that the dress that I see here really kind of on her body and not floating in the air? So this is the creativity in the making. And I personally love the whole process of how you tailor in the virtual dimension. Creative economy, this is the the replica of physical economy, but done smarter, as many people would say. So you have the design tools, asset markets, workflows, commerce. M-commerce is metaverse commerce, virtual commerce, v-commerce, that enables you to sell goods and services across metaverse spaces, or interconnected technologies like progressive web apps, Web3 websites, and so on and so forth. Discovery is the next layer: ad network, social functionality, curation, ratings, stores, agents. That's how people discover. For example, you may learn about some opportunity about the program through LinkedIn, and that was the first stage for you of discovery to get to the experience in the metaverse. So it could be a banner on Google search. It could be a rating that you saw, and you're like, okay, what's that? I'm interested. Or some agents that delivered information. So this discovery phase is an important stage for educating people and leading them to this new dimension of the virtual reality. And the last one, the biggest one that surrounds everything, is the experience. At Events, we take pride in seamless experiences, building the events that are highly appreciated by people because they're fun and valuable at the same time. But that should be not only the focus of Events, but every company, not only testing their performance features, solutions that they're building, but also the experience, UX, UI, the feedback, the functionality of things. And in experience block, you see games, social connections, esports, theater, shopping, the exchange of whether it's learning, arts, products, and participation in all of that. Global metaverse potential as of now is as of now, it's not 2023 yet. As of the end 2023 is the $1.4 trillion. That's shown by various reports. And so you could see on this slide that there is where the money goes to, right? Where is this TAM? What does TAM consist of? Total addressable market. Advertising, social commerce, digital events. The red pink one is hardware, and then on top of it, developers, creators. Citi, two years ago, year and a half ago, predicted that it will be 13 trillion economy by 2030. JP Morgan is saying it's 8 trillion. I would say it's more than that once we figure out all the layers of metaverse and interoperability. But it gives you understanding of how big the market is. And if you put on top jobs, market, upskilling, gender parity, inclusion, it can go as much as 31 to $40 trillion, because only the job market is $11.5 trillion gap in 2030. So while building solutions, think about the total addressable market, because then you can easily narrow down to a serviceable addressable market and who you actually will be focusing on, what's your market value. So the investors have a clear understanding of your seriousness and what you're building. Investors is another topic. I'll go fast into the next slide. So you will receive the slides from the team. Here you will see various metaverse players, and it's just, an extract. Every day a new company appears in the market, where it's AR, metaverse, virtual world, virtual application, 2D to 3D environments, name it. It's amazing, but also you need to be jumping into this wave now to be earlier than later. Otherwise, the case of the cloud computing will repeat itself for many businesses and people. I was with IBM back then, and it took us 4 years educating people what cloud computing can do for the business. A lot of businesses were scared. They were still on their servers, fixed, highly expensive operations. But the newcomers, who were the first ones, managed to not only learn fast and be supported with implementations, but they completely repurposed their technology, optimized the costs, made scalability possible across the globe, decentralized in this way storage capacities, different data centers. The other ones got still stuck in their local environments, and that affected their businesses. Many people who didn't go cloud computing, many businesses who didn't do it, they eventually kind of didn't stay in the market that long, because you need to be agile. You need to be looking at things, what's coming up. Technology is the powerhouse of things. Out of the metaverse spaces that I mentioned here, you would definitely probably know Decentraland, Sandbox, Somnium Space. You've heard about the game Fortnite, Horizon I mentioned to you, Second Life, Minecraft is also going that way. You have Neos, Rec Room, so VR Chat. There are a lot of different companies, and it's, as I said, it's just unlimited in terms of growth and potential. Last slide from me in this presentation to finish it all off. So Eve has been organizing various events. We run Eve's Decentralized series as a social project. We're basically democratizing knowledge about frontier technology, Web3, crypto economy, creator economy, NFT commerce, metaverse creations, and so on and so forth. You would find a tab on our website that says Decentralized series. We've noticed a great pattern. People come to learn with a pure excitement, if I can define it this way. Once you are telling them that it's a metaverse and your avatars can move like in this way, right? You're dancing, you're clapping, you are sharing love by cards appearing in the air. They get super excited, and their learning capabilities increase drastically. You become a SpongeBob in that environment, processing knowledge, adjusting, and figuring out for yourself. Ariana has been attending a few events, and that's how we met, actually. And you can ask her later all the questions about her experience. So I think it defined her to become a creator of 3D assets and environments like that. And we learned that it's not only improves the learning curve, it also enables people to find founders, find parties to partner with, find each other basically in this world. And if you're organizing investor tours or you're organizing big stakeholder meetings, it all makes it more friendly, because you come as an avatar, you're so fascinated with things, especially people who were native in Web 2.0, but they're still more mature generation. They're still trying to understand how Web 3.0 would work. They are still challenged, but once they get a chance, they get super excited about things. And your very scary stakeholder meetings can transform into a beautiful, fun experience without you even knowing that. So take any opportunity that is there. YouTube, courses, programs like what we're running. It's a free program if you are an early bird. For the late people, we just like be on time, 15 euro ticket, but be first to register, and we start in fall season next year. Oh, sorry, in the next month. All right, so I kind of shared a lot of basics, but a lot of important information that you need to continue diving into. It's not enough. 1 hour is not enough. I would like to give you a chance to ask your questions, and then we would still have a few minutes left. I will share a link to our spatial environment that you can jump in as an avatar and just have a glimpse of experience if you haven't yet been able to do so. And I think at that moment we'll stop recording because we'll change the platform. Okay. Any questions? You can put them in the comments. You can ask with your voice. You can keep your camera on and off as you wish. Thank you for the opportunity for me to present all of this knowledge, and I'm waiting for tricky questions.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. That was great. Always learn something with you, and I really appreciate you for that. So I want to ask a question that was actually on my mind at the very beginning when you first introduced me to spatial, and then I feel that I never really asked, and I don't know why. But it was about well, I think I mentioned it in the fashion. Digital fashion, virtual fashion event, but it's about body size in avatars as and what do you see as the future when a body sizes in the metaverse? I mean, like, people's weight fluctuates. There's certain insecurities about weight for various people. It depends, like how would the relationship to real life body types be extended into the metaverse? What are your thoughts?
Good question. So in various environments, you are able to pick the body type, whether you want to be super skinny, normal, a bit bigger, and you can adjust the shape, adjust the curves, really kind of tailored to your body type, that you can make that happen. Ready Player Me avatars, and these are the ones you would see in the photo on the last slide. These ones, right? They have legs, they're quite nicely done. They're all the same height, they're all the same body type, like normal body type, fit. People were asking about it, like, hey, why is it only this? I'm different. I want to see myself different. But then the psychological explanation and why it's done this way is that if the height is the same, everyone is equal. Usually the person with more height overpowers the person with less height, because you look down on the person and becomes kind of subconsciously that you are the dominant one, I need to obey, or I will be barking at you because I need to rebel, protest that authoritative power. So that is subconsciously and psychologically. Once you do have everyone on the same height, that's equality in a way. Then if you have the same body shape, so first of all, just a kind of nice design, but everyone is fine with a fit body. What you addressed, it's an important point though. I believe, and my team believe, that's why we put inclusion and accessibility also as important pillars, is that you need to have a chance to create your own persona the way you want to create it. And it's not only one white skin, like the color of white, black, somewhat suntanned, and that's it, and maybe a few choices of clothes. No, the spectrum should be massive, because you need to have hijabs, and you need to have various clothes. I'm not even mentioning that, but they're about like 50 shades of black skin, right? You need to be able to find yourself in such a mixed world. It needs to be made possible. There are companies that are looking into creating you as you by scanning yourself. You would have a lot of cameras around for 3D kind of dimensions, and then you will scan yourself to put in this environment, a virtual world, and then you'll be able to operate your avatar, just adjusting it or not. And you'll also be registering it on blockchain or Header Hashgraph, so that is your digital identity that no one else can have. Now, the Ready Player Me avatars, if Ariana comes, I don't know, wearing a nice t-shirt and looking a certain type without using her face, like uploading photo for her face, I can recreate the same avatar, pretend to be her, and do some, kinky things in virtual world that Ariana doesn't know about. But then it's her avatar. It's not protected. So there are threats to digital identity, and by registering your digital identity on the blockchain, that secures your own ownership of things and minimizes risks. Ariana, it was a big answer from my side, but I hope I answered to your question.
Yeah, actually, I hadn't thought about height as being that big a factor, but I'm short, so I totally feel that power dynamic. Yeah.
Well, that's how they build it, and there are other avatars like Meta Humans from Unreal Engine. That is, I will send you a link, but it's a beautiful creation. Unreal Engine is very high quality, but also high processing required to render. But the design is absolutely stunning. That's actual person. And with artificial intelligence and sooner artificial general intelligence, when the machine can not only advise you but make decisions for you in the agreed way with the humans, so there are no overtaking the worlds by machine. There you can create the metaverse spaces with your voice, with I don't know, let's explore various forms of art. There are a lot of applications of artificial intelligence. So yeah, the future is leading us somewhere, and I hope we will be able to experience the beauty of the virtual economy and virtual worlds, unless we suffer from the climate change and will be too hot, and we will not be able to run the data centers for this beauty. Hopefully not. Okay, more questions?
Sure, that was such a. This is Karen.
Hi.
That was such an interesting answer. Yeah, this is a very exciting. What do we call it? Workshop seminar. Thank you very much. So I just want to ask a question. It's not such a philosophical or in-depth question. I think it's a very simple question, but I just want to understand: is Web3 the metaverse, or is the metaverse Web3? And is cryptocurrencies and NFTs part of Web3?
Right. Web3 is the new form of internet. So everything that comes into the internet or organized in the virtual dimension is Web3. Like everything that is personalized, interactive. Web3 consists of metaverse and virtual worlds, right? That are interconnected or not. Web3 consists of decentralized economy, DeFi finance, decentralized finance, that is part of it, but not necessarily equals to Web3. It empowers the operations on the blockchain. Web3 is based on the blockchain, right? For the enabling the performance of things. So to run operations, exchange goods and services, you need to create a virtual economy. So it's like artificial intelligence and Web 2.0. AI helps with developments, but AI is not internet. In Web 3, it's the internet, the magnitude of the whole new holistic internet that consists of Metaverse, that consists of Web3 websites or progressive web apps, consists of supported by decentralized economy, decentralized finance. So yeah, that's just a new form of internet where everything is so nicely integrated, and you can be the decision maker without third parties or middlemen in between.
Okay, so just to understand this correctly, so Web3 is the big category, and blockchain, NFTs, Metaverse, all of that is sort of elements of Web3.
Yes, they are part of it. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Hi, I had a question as well, and also wanted to mention the presentation was very informational, so thank you. So you talked about like sustainability also, and I was wondering how you measure that in the metaverse, and because I read about how it also uses a lot of power, so I was wondering about that.
Okay. So I will answer to it very quickly because I really would love you to attend this event that has amazing speakers. It's Metaverse and Sustainability on September 13th. We are to discuss the the performance of Metaverse, but also how to build. And we have the Polkadot there. We have the people who are building. Let me just do this, because if I'm a little bit slow this morning. It's been an epic week for me, but I would like to just show you the exciting lineup of speakers. Okay, and it's in support of your program now. Sharing my screen, is it easy to do? Yes, it's still the same stuff. Okay, so you would see, okay, you would see now. Yeah, great. We have a head ambassador for Western Europe from Polkadot, so that's the cryptocurrency. We have, the protocol. We have Eric Hansel, who is the creator of the Scubaverse, where you can virtually swim with dolphins and discover the underwater life in a scientific way. It's a very beautiful environment. Maya Frost, who is the Switch strategist, founder of the company, looking into the natural disasters, climate change, and the technology effects. Shrikant Kulkarni from India, he is experimenting with new forms for minting and decreasing the consumption of the processing power. Alma Hadzic is an incredible inspirational leader overseeing the also technological effects from the she works at Deloitte, a big corporate, right? And they have a lot of clients. So she will be presenting different use cases of how to minimize the risks. And Danielle Dubovsky-Bryant is from Educators in VR. They were the ones to figure out the sustainability, how by not traveling, by not having this last mile, but just going into the environment, how much you can save, not only in terms of money, but electricity, power, gas, CO2 emissions. And it shows quite interesting data that there are some metaverse spaces that run and load as much as Zoom does. It's pretty simple, low poly metaverse spaces, and the consumption of the processing power is not that high. The more you go into the sophistication and beautiful designs, the more you start using the processing. So from the scientific point of view, there's the whole framework, right? ESG goals, sustainable development goals. For the sustainability aspects, once you're designing, you're looking at not only how many people can access the environment, but what's the load time, what's the workload, the processing time, the amount of elements needed, because every single item in the world, virtual world, let's say if I just show something like this, it causes, see, interaction on the next level.
Yes.
So it causes the environment to be more heavier and be processed more, differently. So that I'll stop share for now. This. More question? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. If you are willing to, and it's the last minutes because we have 1.5 hours, right, Timo?
We have as long as you want and as long as people stay.
Well, I'll give them an opportunity to experience one of the spaces. We organized a wonderful session. You can see the recording on our website or on LinkedIn. It was organized with 2 aerospace engineers, Sierra and Myron Fletchers. And also we had a keynote speaker from the BSI group, then Lisa Lecluse. Sierra and Myron Fletchers are building the Mars rocket to take people to Mars. It's a NASA rocket. And they work at Boeing. So we had them for the workshop presenting how they do that, what are the key elements, how possible, how close we are to send people to Mars. And this is the environment I want to take you to. It's called Mission to Mars, Even Smart Settlement. You will receive the link now. Copy. By clicking on the link, you'll appear in the world that will, for the first second, load the elements. And then you start appearing with the preset avatar that you can customize later on. Ariana is here. See, I will be sharing a window. Yeah. Okay. So I'm sharing the view with those who don't want to do it but want to see. So, do you see on the screen what I'm sharing?
I can see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So this is the environment. This is a small, really small environment. Here upon the entrance, you see the white kind of poster that explains the moves. We have here the list of attendees: Timo, Aishiria, Ariana, and Eve, who are in the environment. Let's try some functionality. On the keyboard, try to click on C. Let's see what happens. Yay. Awesome. Y, letter Y. Awesome. The jumps are possible with spacebar. And there's a funny jump. as well. And then you have functionality, FUN as we call it, functionality, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these are the moves that brings the spirit up. There's also one for no, it's not N. We never use it because we are like sharing good spirit, but in case you need to use it, it's letter N. So this is the world that you can explore by walking with your arrow keys. If you're in VR headset, of course, you are using your controllers. On mobile phone, it's more spectators, more, see, the words are leaving my head at this moment. A spectator view that you can just, scroll with your finger, but it doesn't give you a holistic experience. You can bring animated elements in the environment and gamify the experience. Here we see the astronaut. We can build beautiful creations that are also NFT that you can buy, for example. This one isn't, but I'm just saying you can do it, bring art into the scope. Here are the rockets that will take people to Mars. It's the space system. And this was our variation of the stage. So a lot of people would get together in this area looking at the speakers over there. Now, this all becomes more interesting with more people inside, because you can also enable private chats. You can separate the voice sounds. You can organize different gamified experiences in the world. We built this one for educational purposes. So it's supposed to be light with not much gamification. And this world from this week will be available on Spatial. If you, for example, register, I will show on the screen that once you appear in your space, you would have team spaces and explore are shared spaces that you can just jump into and see what people have created. And we have our gallery respect here already visible here. The Mars world is coming this week sometime soon. So you can access it in VR as well by downloading Spatial app. Now I'm going back to the environment where I left you all. Oh, not this one. How's the experience?
It's really cool.
All right. And the awesome thing there is that you don't need to leave the environment. So you have unmute button here, you have webcam sharing button. So if I stop sharing here, you will see my bubble. And if I click on the 4 people above the drop-down list and click on my video, you will see me very well. It's like inbuilt Zoom solution. But I can also just walk as an avatar. Look at Ariana. Hi, Ariana. How are you doing today? Yay. So, all good, all good. And this little human being in the lower right corner, that's where you personalize your avatar. So I'll turn the camera off. If you create it with Ready Player Me, you creating your identity, and you can save various versions of yourself. And you can take it not only to Spatial. Ready Player Me operates across, 50, 70 platforms now. So this is me in various forms. Let's say today I want to be this person because I feel that way. And then it becomes more fun. And that's the way how to see your avatar, right? By clicking on avatar human being here. You can also go on the first person view. If you don't want to see the back of your avatar, you can just walk in the first person view. And this is third. So you see others and you see yourself. You can jump. You can check out the sky. This environment was built in like literally, I think, 2 days. But we didn't have to design assets like this spaceship and rockets. There are a lot of available resources that you can download, sometimes free of charge even. And there are talented people like Ariana designing epic things. And you can create your spaces with the speed of light. Save this link. You are more than welcome to come here anytime. I will send also another one that is the Gallery Respect, showcasing the stories of people of color on the global scale and through time. It also has something interesting I'll show you. Also have these profiles that if you scan with your mobile phone, you can talk to these people. They are the survivors of various massacres, civil rights movements, protests, slavery. You can really learn from these people a lot. And then you can scan for additional content under each photo. So here is the Gallery Respect. It was our social project in the beginning of the year that resonated across various media channels here in the States. So this is it from me. Feel free to just, start exploring, start creating, build something virtual. The technology is affordable. You can use some templates that are just, cheap to use. Or you can hire designers who will build you your own world or your own space. But you can definitely start somewhere with what's offered to bring your idea to life and incorporate into Web3 websites. And once you launch your token, then it becomes a holistic virtual economy. Okay, well, thank you so much. If you have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, I let you go to enjoy your evening, morning, daytime.
Thanks so much, Eve.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Hope it was useful.
Thank you. If I just want to ask, when I clicked on the link, it said something like open an app, and then it said your phone is not compatible. But can I try it on my laptop or something?
So this link is, yes, you can do on both, but for the phone, you need to download first the app, special app. This link on the laptop will open immediately. In the VR headset, you need to download special app as well. And then in the Explore option, it's where you land. You will see our group as well.
Okay. Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for the attention. And thank you, Eve, for the awesome presentation.
My pleasure.
Maybe I can ask a last question while everybody might be leaving, but
go ahead.
I see that almost all platforms are catering to mass audience situations, multiple people in rooms, and that there is a very, even maybe not limited amount of things that are catering to a meaningful connection between two persons. And I'm more interested in what I find that I would be happy with. I generally don't like to be in groups or in anything. I thrive when I'm with one person talking about something. And the current situation that I have is that I have Google Meet.
Yeah.
There is no real, at least in my perspective, real, progression there. I don't see a lot of things happening because it's smaller scale. It's less important. It's less monetized.
So then for your meaningful connections one-on-one, you expect to bring the people in that you know, or you want to bump into that one person and start talking?
I have no idea. That depends. That's the thing, right? I don't know what would be the way you would meet each other, how you would go there, but whenever that happens, right? How it can happen now as well. But how would you yeah, I mean, it's not easy to meet people offline anymore, even, right? It's not easy to meet people online because of trust and secrecy, everything. And it's hard for kids to meet people if they are even going from I know somebody on the internet going to a physical meeting. That takes more time nowadays, I think, a lot more time, because they might be a lot further than they used to be. Back in the day, you had MSN Messenger, and the people that you had on there were the kids from school, right? It was a bit different. So I'm quite curious how that's going to develop in the next years, also because one of my developments at Catchain is the life certificates aspect, so that you can, and then maybe more tailored towards one-on-one education. So how can I prove that I had a conversation with, for example, you alone, in a meaningful way, that it contributes to something, maybe therapy, or it's something else? That I think that's going to be a huge game changer in how we can prove what we're taught, right? Because we are
hear you. Yeah, so I'm sending answers to some questions. I'm thinking out loud. First of all, you're right. It's too much. I am so out of social media. Like, I have to be, as for the business, but personally, I'm not. It's too much. There's TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook still, and Instagram and LinkedIn and da.
Yeah.
Yo, when do I have time to live my actual life and be with people I really want to be connected to? So that is being challenged at this moment, to understand how the value can be brought up again, to empower people, not just to use people for another round of advertising.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to your question is artificial intelligence, actually. Once the system is in place, and that's what we are working on with the Metaverse, it starts recommending you not only the experiences, but also recommends you learning and people to meet based on your interest that you said in the beginning, saying, I'm interested in these topics only, or I'm open to other opportunities as well. And then it creates this holistic journey for you where you can get practical experience, whether you want to do it by yourself or with another person or with a group of people. Every person is different indeed. You can learn at your own pace. You can join in the discussions with your peers that you want to create a group, and after listening to the session, discuss all together, create something. You can participate in the events and so on. So that makes a difference. But you also have the opportunity to use the small metaverse spaces. Like, it's my office space. I bring people here because Zoom, it's 40 minutes free version. For the 1 hour unlimited one, you need to pay a hideous amount of money and so on. This is very affordable. It lasts as long as you want. It's also gamified, creative. Fantastic. So you can bring your people in by inviting them over, and you just share the link by going here, can view, can edit. Usually it's view for attendees. And that's how you steer the connection. But if you want to just bump into people, you need to be part of this huge metaverse with a lot of people, multiplayer environments, where you can eventually bump into people, or the system can recommend you that this is your person to learn from, to work with. And then you take them to, I don't know, a bench in the park, virtual park. There are just two of you talking, and you can protect your audio level for a secure discussion, but still seeing the world moving around. Or you can bring them to your office space to just have one-on-one, take crazy photos, or even, I think here we have martini glasses. In the VR, you can grab it and celebrate. Goofy.
So I was wrong in my artwork that I made. I was wrong. Damn it. I repainted Hopper's Nighthawks without the glasses and without anything that was containing food, because you would not have that in the metaverse. But apparently I was wrong, because you have it. So.
Well, yeah, here I'm still chilling with the glasses and the the olive in my cup. Yeah, you can have, and you can later integrate for food delivery services, so whatever, wines, coffees, translation of NFTs to physical goods, or just ordering through the Metaverse system. So that's
All right. Oh, Eve left the meeting by accident.
Oh, I have a quick thing for you. Just in terms of what it takes to get one-on-one meetings happening. Like, there's like I met with a friend recently from school in spatial, and it's really a matter of getting them to create an account. Sometimes it's like the hurdle. So if they have an account and they're aware of how the technology works, like that's a lot easier. But it's like a.
But I think the problem is not in the fact that it's not possible to do it, but that no service is actually targeting this and catering for it. And
VR chat is pretty good. I put the link down there. That's for headsets. So you're right. There isn't like an easy web like.
No, I mean, what is that? So we're talking one-on-one now, I think, right? And there's one person. But what is the alternative to having a Google Meet and talking like this, right? It might not even be about being in a room or in a physical environment, seeing each other, but it might be about be able to play a game together and see and do something, or being able to very easily share things. Maybe even to prove what you did, right? To afterwards, to prove that you discussed this topic, or to prove that you. That's what I am working on.
Oh, that's your product that you're building?
Yeah, one of the products for Female Switch that we are building is the life certificates part, which we are building out, or at least is my idea, so that it can validate and prove that you had one-on-one education. So you had a 1-hour course with a teacher. That teacher has to do a certain action. You guys have to do the action. The homework is recorded automatically, and that's your proof for that you did this. And that means that you can now.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea.
Something.
That's a great idea.
This can even go in our ideas further to sports. It really is a thing. If you're a kid, you go to play a sport and you make it to team captain. That's cool, right? But how do you prove that you did that, right? How do you really prove that you did it, right? Because everybody can say, yeah, I was team captain once, or I did football for 10 years. But it kind of matters if you were always on time and good, or if you were always late. Or if you were always late and still good, that is also a thing that you can select for. But it's so that's something that I'm interested in, mainly because I teach dance sport. I do dance sport. I do ballroom dancing, and that probably has given me more value in education than anything that I've done. I'm massively self-taught in the things that I use daily, so the rest is just a creative degree, which is just for the learning how to be creative in the right way and how to be critical. But everything else is just self-taught, and that's for me not a problem, because I can sell myself. It's not a problem. But for people that have the problem about talking about themselves or selling themselves, I mean, a lot of women are struggling with that. That's what we're seeing. They play things down, and they tend to do that. So I see that this is an ingrained problem, right? Because we can prove one-on-one interaction, and it's not we're not doing anything with it. So that's just the idea so far.
I see how that could be useful. Yeah, I definitely see. Yeah, I have trouble selling myself a lot, and I know I'm one of the ones who are more outgoing. So
All right. Maybe Eve is coming back for maybe a last saying goodbye properly, and one of my colleagues can cut this part out.
I'll probably head out, but thanks for recording and hosting. Thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you for being here, and thank you for attending. And yeah, very good to see that everybody is enthusiastic about what we're doing as well.
Yeah, definitely. Crunching time now, but yeah, excited.
All right, good.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.